It was 25 years ago when warrants were granted for state police to raid the homes of church people and remove more than 100 kids. It was a troubling time in the tiny village of Island Pond. Locals didn't know what to make of this new group, but now, 25 years later, much has changed.
And I got up to use the bathroom, take a shower, and there's like 5 police officers outside my door.
Jeremiah Witten remembers like it was yesterday, the morning he awoke to find a house full of people trying to take him from his parents.
And they said, go get dressed and come down to the living room. And I said, what's going on? I said, don't ask any questions, just go do what I said.
An army of state police and social workers descended on the village of Island Pond to raid the homes of Northeast Kingdom Community Church members. 112 kids taken into custody. The state feared the children were being badly beaten as part of the strict discipline imposed by church parents.
And since the church members believe in spanking, they picked child abuse as the issue.
Church member Gene Swanko says the state's concerns about child abuse were sparked by rumors in town. The minority church was called a cult, and that bred fear. The church does admit to using corporal punishment, spanking kids with rods and sticks.
It stings to get their attention and help them learn right from wrong.
But this is not abuse.
No.
I don't even know how to even communicate the trauma that this put my family through, and my wife and my children.
Jesus Christ himself established that, and he gave authority to the church to be that light.
Ed Wiseman was accused of abuse and exonerated. He says some church members did go too far when spanking kids, and that other residents in the village then thought this was common practice.
Whenever there has been a problem with child discipline, it has been because the parents didn't obey and follow the teachings of the community.
The state was dealt a blow to its abuse case, though, when Judge Frank Mahady denied the state's request for custody of the 112 kids. The state wanted to examine and interview the children. He called the raid unconstitutional, and all 112 children, including Jeremiah, were allowed to go home.
Were you abused as a child? Were you physically abused?
I was never physically abused.
Jeremiah says after the raid, things changed in Island Pond. Residents began to slowly respect church members. Today, they have 2 successful businesses in the village. He thinks the raid was a learning lesson for the village, the state, and the church.
Go to town meetings, get involved, be part of the fire department or whatever. Like, just give the neighbors in the town nothing to fear.
Most residents agree church members are now simply part of the community here.
Well, it was in the past, and things have never happened since, and you just all get along with each other and just let it go.
Some, though, remain convinced that church children were not simply being spanked, that they were abused, but that the raid forced the church to punish kids in less severe ways.
It was just heavy-handed. If you want to call it the raid, the police action had an effect on the group.
Some people I talked to in Island Pond say the public spanking they witnessed in the past doesn't happen anymore, but they still fear what goes on behind closed doors. Jeremiah still belongs to the church. He has 4 kids of his own now. The church is now called the 12 Tribes. They have 50 communities in 9 countries, including 3 communities in Vermont, Island Pond, of course, Rutland, and Bellows Falls. Membership continues to grow, about 3,000 members worldwide now. Marcellus.
Thanks, Darren.